Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of InMobi's Mobile Monday, where we talk about leading brands leveraging mobile. Given that you've shared and talked a lot about some deep insights on consumer behavior on mobile, is there something that you can distill this into and share 3 clear nuggets to each of your peers and budding marketers about how to leverage mobile?
Look, one is very clearly, and I think enough and more has been said about it, which is the moments marketing. And it's a lot of places where I go to and have a lot of the discussions with senior people. I get a sense that for them it almost seems as if it's a fad, but the reality is it's not a fad anymore. Because historically, and let's understand why is that not the case. Historically, 30-seconder ads, right, were the carrier of brand message, right? They would make you laugh, they would make you smile, because ads were supposed to be memorable. Because stories had to be told. Because at the point of purchase, the ad had to remain memorable. Because otherwise, you would not remember what is the top of mind recall of a certain brand, of a certain product, which will help me in making the purchase. But now we carry this device wherever we go at the point of purchase, and while that's true for tangible products, for an intangible product like ours, okay, you don't even need to go anywhere. It's right inside this, right? And hence, dishing out a certain piece of content, dishing out a messaging about a certain product at the right opportune time, okay, which is extremely personalized and which is extremely relevant basis what need state that consumer is in at that point in time has become that much more important. So, and the reality is that this entire micro targeting of messages is obviously being automated. And the moment you start automating this entire moment marketing, this can happen very, very clearly at scale. Second thing, for a lot of businesses, at least like ours, we at times, keep on thinking whether we are a content company or whether we are a tech company, right? For a lot of broadcaster OTTs whose origins had been from the world of content, they believe it's a former. For a lot of tech majors who have got into the content, they believe it's the latter. But I think increasingly for a lot of the digital first businesses, it's neither this nor that. I think we are all increasingly in the business of experience, right? Because loyalty very clearly is being created, is being garnered, and is being leveraged on the back of what is experience that you give to the consumer, right? And that's true for a tangible product, whether it's a telco, what is the kind of experience using AI bots, using machine learning, wherever there are any specific queries, different products that you can purchase, or if it's a banking product. And for a content platform like Voot, I think the entire differentiation, the source of competitive differentiation is very clearly happening on the experience side, because discoverability of content amidst a vast ocean of content that's available on the platform has become one of the most challenging pieces, because mass entertainment, unfortunately, in this world is no more about endless choice, right? Discoverability has become that much more important because consumers' attention spans have obviously gone down.
So marketers should start focusing
absolutely. What is the UI? What is the entire experience? To what extent you can really personalize? How is the experience going to be different for a new consumer versus a returning user? How is the experience going to be different for a consumer who is coming from a Delhi versus TN? How is the experience going to be different from a metro market versus a tier 2, tier 3 or a rural market? What is the level of information you want to start collecting at the first stage itself, as opposed to trying to do that maybe later in the entire funnel? These questions, may seem very, very simplistic, okay? But at every point in time, the moment you start making different decisions for these different questions, okay, the world of experience or the world of experiences it becomes that much more complicated.
And all these real-time mobile experiences become even more important.
Has become that much more important. And I think the third biggest nugget is on mobile. I think at a very, very fundamental level, it has to, your content, your platform has to work across different devices, across different versions, across different networks, across different markets, right? And this is where this is very fundamental. This is very visceral. This is, this also sounds very laborious. This also doesn't sound very sexy and exciting, but this is where the rubber meets the road. Because if that doesn't happen, okay, your ability to do moments marketing, you might get the consumer onto your platform by doing great, amazing moments marketing, by automating your entire process, by giving a great experience through personalized and hyper-personalized content pieces to the relevant consumers. But if the thing stops to work when it needs the most, then everything comes crashing down. So while you guys may hear a lot of exciting things that's happening in the world of technology, in the world of digital, please do not forget the basics of it.